Hey everyone, Living in Furnace here. Goodbye, Crow. That's what you get for standing around. It's so strange that they just show up there. But, there you go. Oh, I'm such a brute. Or a barbarian, because I got my barbarian clothes. Although I don't have a full set yet. No, Stalnox down there. Don't want to deal with that. I'm not sure if the barbarians were... I mean, I don't think they would be like a real thing in this game, but there's just that name for it, I guess. Because barbarians were like a real, like, tribe or set of tribes, you know? Network. A, confederation. But, I don't know. I don't know much about them. They're just, hey, you know, if someone's just not wearing that many clothes, if they're, you know, just fighting all the time, apparently they're barbarians. Whatever. Not sure. I'm not even sure where they come from. That's just not really something I took to remembering. I did remember that they're like somewhere in Central Europe in their time. Yeah. And I think that might have been like that tree might have had a few monsters on it, but I didn't bother. We actually have a river here. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's not a huge river, but it's here. It's a pretty deep one, actually, but it's not very wide. Climbing up here, so we see what we can get to that shrine. I have 10 spirit orbs now. I want to get a couple more. And you bats better not get in my way. Alright, that's it. Ooh, man, I got a lot of them. Got like 6. Nice. I should probably pick up more enemy droppings or enemy droppings, loot drops, as they can be called for short. So, the way I go about this, I don't think is the best way to go about it. You see, the switch that you saw actually flips things over. You'll see. Now, where I put this bomb is actually where I think I should have put this ball. Or orb, I should say. So, I should have put the ball into that space instead of over there. Because when I hit the switch again, it flips back and then I could put it in there. And then it would be scooped up into that basin. Into that receptacle. But the way I do it is a bit convoluted. You can see, like, I could just put it up there. It flips clockwise, I guess. I mean, depends on your perspective, but if you're looking at it from like the right side, looking at it, then it's like clockwise. You know, the way it's gonna spin next time I hit it. So here I figured, well, I guess I have to hit the switch again. It does move the ball a little bit. I keep calling it a ball, it's an orb. The orb of magic. That suddenly goes in there, and there you have it. It does the thing. It's funny how these shrines can be miniature dungeons, you know? They got locked doors like the one over here. They got all these things moving around. They got chests. I see that chest. Oh boy. Wonder what it is. This is actually my second time recording this, since I realized that it was too long, and I also should have cut out some bits, as I said. And also, because somehow the recording that I was watching over again to make sure I'm seeing what's actually happening, you know, that somehow stopped, and I was just desynchronized. I had to get back on track, get my voice back on track. So, opening this door, you know, you don't go through it like this and see something you get from it, but you can get something from it. We'll see that later. It has to do with this thing that pushes me up. The sort of springboard. Speaking of springboards, I'm making a Super Mario Maker course. I've made quite a few, so I'm going to put them all I'm going to record them all at the same time. Probably after this video, in fact. Like after I have this video ready and all that. So after you watch this, probably 2 days after you watch 2 days after this is uploaded, that will be uploaded. As in, I shall record that, and then there will be that game to watch. Yeah. I just gotta make sure that I have enough levels to go along with my own levels. And this is probably not the best way to do it. I guess I could have stood by that switch, because that part of the place doesn't rotate, but you know what? I ran out of shock arrows, but I did the thing. Although I am going to regret running out of shock arrows in a few minutes, in a while. As I said, I edited a lot, so don't have to be watching too much gliding, you know. So here I am trying to figure out where I can find a shrine. You see, there is one that I know of that's in this mountain range. Past the cliffs of Ruvara, there is a shrine. And maybe there's one around there, but it's possible that I might not be able to do it. I'm not entirely sure. It was like one of the last shrines I got to was one of the ones that was out there. So, anyway, I'm just gonna see what I can find out here. I do find something, so of course I'm keeping this little clip in. This bit. Yes, indeed, we have another Korok to get. Give me that seed! Ah. Cryonis, I guess? And it doesn't look like I can Cryonis up a rock. Silent shrooms are nice, though. They befit this serene area. They are appropriate. I like using big words. Seldom used words, you know, for the time being. You know, I'm in the mood for that. So, this is why I mentioned that I ran out of shock arrows. You can see on that wall there's a design with arrows and electricity. Throwing an electric weapon will not work. I need shock arrows. And from what I from my experience, they've been kind of rare. Like, not even dropped by enemies. So here I am fighting a couple here. There were a couple of bokoblins. I got a bokoblin horn. I was trying to get my bearings, figure out where I was. Just going north from the tower there, as you saw. I've been down this road or down this area before. Just trying to find some more shock arrows, you know, maybe some like bomb arrows. Those would be useful too. I don't have those either. Well, if I can't find any, I guess I'll have to find out if I can find a shop. I did read that I can buy some shock arrows in Gerudo Town, but as I mentioned, I have to kind of find someone to give me a disguise to go there with, you know. That's just how it is. Gerudos, right? As sexist as ever. Well, that's the way they are. At least in this game, like, it kind of makes sense, because they're, like, physically superior. Like, they're, like, tall and muscular, and they can withstand the heat and all that. So, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. But then again, funny thing, they do let in Gorons, or at least a Goron, which is kind of strange. Maybe they're just like, hey, you know what? This Goron guy, he's a tough one. Just let him in. He would qualify. So who knows? Maybe it is a meritocracy after all. Anyways, enough like pontificating about Gerudo culture. We got a Talus over here. I just figured, hey, you know, I'm passing by. There's a Talus. Might as well get some rocks out of it. I do have to rack up a bunch of rupees, you know, get a lot from stuff, you know, in order to get some pieces of armor. The Guardian armor. Oh boy, look at this thing just turning around, it's so clumsy. Although I think I'll mention it when we see it. You see, is it yeah, that attack. I think that's actually supposed to be an attack and not kind of accidentally falling down. I used to think that, oh, like, hey, the Talus is hurt so badly that it just stumbles, but I think it might actually be an attack. Like, it sees you there, so it turns around where you're facing, or where you are. You see it, like, turning where I was, in the direction I was, and slamming down. So, you do need to be careful. Even if you're just quickly running up to Talus, stasising it, you know. Although stasis is not so useful here, because this, like, the weak part is so kind of hard to get to, you know? It's like right over here. Just a few more hits, but man, this took a while. Come on. I can't reach it. I can't reach it. Yeah, you see, turned where I was, as I said. Whew. Oh, that was something. I'm not sure why I edited out here, because it's just a few seconds. I was just going along the river. That's not where that goes. I like my Korok seeds, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ha, ha. So, here I am starting from Ridgeland Tower, trying to figure out where I can find something. I went north from there, just on the mountain that's just north of the Ridgeland Tower. You'll see that I'm south of the stable, which I think is in Ridgeland, the Ridgeland stable, I think. You know, the one the stable that's surrounded by trees. If you look closely in the distance down there, you can see it. There's like a bunch of trees, and towering above them a bit is the stable. And there's that other shrine I saw that I got to before I got to Hebra Mountains, so looks like I went full circle. How about that? Well, not really. I really took like a figure eight. Yeah, actually I did. Or maybe, well, I did a figure S and then I did a figure eight. with all this Ridgeland stuff and the Rito place and all that. It's just... So, this is, as you can hear, this is a sanctuary kind of spot. That's where the shrine is. And it's not easy to get to. You know, you have to blow up a wall. So, I guess maybe the easiest way would maybe be to shoot a bomb arrow, I guess. But hey, you got remote bombs, you can drop them from above. I should have dropped it when I was using the glider. But that's a little tricky. By the way, speaking of tricky, there was a trick that I did. When you're on a slope that's not incredibly steep, you can kind of slide down and then run up a little bit more. Link automatically runs up a bit more to get some more stamina. So that's a nice thing to try out if you're having trouble climbing. Which I mean, honestly, I haven't had too much trouble with yet. So I got another thing, Spirit Orb. Easy shrine. So here I am back in the Korok Forest, getting my 15th slot. Nice. Maybe next time I come back here I'll get another slot, but I think 15 is a good number. It's, you know, 3 rows. Nice and simple. I'll probably get another bow slot though, to get its that category's 15th slot. Yeah, so that last shrine was just kind of funny. It's just one of those that's a little tricky to get to, kind of like the one in Hebra Mountains where you gotta swim through the icy water. Pretty easy, you know, relatively, compared to others where you actually have stuff in the shrine, you know. It's like that, you know, like the other one I went to here, actually, you know, it's just all those puzzles. Just blow up a wall, get in there, and there you have it. And there we have it. I think now I have 8 more heart containers to get. I'm getting up there. So, hello. Yes, I am Mr. Hero. Oh dear, why do you have to call it Deku Tree's navel? Oh dear. Oh, that is just kind of disturbing. Anyway, you might have noticed right over there. I did not notice at the time, but I had that they're selling shock arrows here, so I can buy some. And next time I'll be back at that place where I can shoot the shock arrow. And I got rupees. Very nice.